I'm sorry. I thought I oppose right now lifting the current sanctions.
Do you support new sanctions against Russia?
Well,
yes or no?
The answer is I don't have the information. I haven't been able to receive classified briefings. I would want to understand the classified information, and I would want to work with others to understand it. So I don't have an opinion right now as to whether we should have more. I do have an opinion that we shouldn't be lifting the existing ones.
Would you agree that your new boss is famous for firing people?
Well, he has a show about it,
okay.
but other than the show...
Do you think, well, sometimes it's a blurred line at this point. We're not sure where the show stops and where the reality begins. Do you think he will hesitate to fire people if he disagrees with them or believes they're doing a bad job?
Well, if he disagrees with them, no. And I can tell you the president-elect and I have disagreed on things. Sometimes I've been able to convince him, and sometimes I haven't, and I haven't been fired. If people do a bad job, absolutely, he should fire them.
Will he be able to fire and hire the ethics officer?
The ethics officer, as it relates to his trust, I have no idea. I'm not.
Who would hire and fire the ethics officer if it wasn't him?
Again, I don't have access to the trust documents, and I don't know the answer.
Well, wait. We're not talking about trust. We're talking about he has said he's going to have an ethics officer to oversee him in the government. Who is going to hire and fire his ethics officer? Him?
It's a good question. I would be more than happy to ask him and talk to him about it and come back. I think you raise an important issue, and I think he'll understand that. I don't have the answer.
He is not divesting any of his business interests, correct?
Correct. I believe he sold his public stocks and his other liquid
I'm talking about
investments
his business. Is it fair to characterize him as an international businessman?
I believe so.
Okay. And he will enjoy the benefits of his business's success while he is president, correct?
Again, I believe he'll do everything legally, and as it
No.
Wait,
this is not my question. My question is, he has said very loudly he will go back to his business after he is president. In fact, he even said he'd fire his sons if they hadn't done a good job. So whatever success his business enjoys during his presidency, he will get the benefit of, correct?
Well, I missed the part about firing his sons, but that sounds like something he may have said. But yes, he's the economic owner, so by definition, I would assume that he would have that.
His businesses in other countries and in this country intersect with foreign countries. Do you agree?
So I've read, yes.
And isn't it true that a lot of his debt is held by foreign interests?
I don't know. I've just read it in the papers.
Do you think you should know that as someone who runs the Committee on Foreign Investments? If we're talking about the Commander-in-Chief, should you, as Secretary of the Treasury, know what percentage of his debt? I am told by people who are familiar with his business that it is a huge percentage of his debt that is held by foreign interests.
Well, as I said, if I am confirmed, I assure you that I will make sure that the requirements of the Constitution are upheld. And I think you have a valid point about foreign debt and understanding foreign things. And if I'm confirmed, I will research that and get back to you.
Okay, so what I want to get a commitment from you today is that you will report to this committee what percentage of the debt against the Trump enterprises is held by foreign interests. That is your job as the Secretary of Treasury, and I want your commitment that you will report to this committee as soon as you are able to get that information from the new president.
I'm not making the commitment today to report to the committee on anything, but what I am willing to do is, to the extent I am confirmed, I am willing to speak to the chairman and make sure that whatever the committee thinks it needs, I will discuss with the president.
Well, I can assure you the American people need to know, and you and your job as Secretary of the Treasury that is supposed to be determining national security interests based on foreign investment, the American people want to know how much debt that is owed by the Trump businesses is owed to foreign entities, and because that could have a direct impact on our national security.